Hello and welcome to another video from oorail. In this video we're going to look at the Pico decoupler. This is an automatic decoupler that you can put on the railway. Basically it fits in between the sleepers and it will basically uncouple tension lock couplings as they go over it, if they go over it slowly. So the idea is that you put this in place on the track. The locomotive comes over the top, it pops both of them up, and as it goes past, it goes and decouples it for you automatically. So what I actually use these for is towards the end of bay platforms and terminus stations. I put these about 1.5 loco length away from the end of the buffer stops. And basically what this allows me to do is in bays where I bring in a class 47 or class 37 or another steam locomotive, as the locomotives come this way into the bay platform, as it gets to the buffer stops and stops, this actually decouples the locomotive, and then I can attach another locomotive at the other end and pull it out of the station. And so it basically allows me to kind of move locos around without having to manually decouple them on the, with my fingers or a screwdriver. So this is actually an important step because later on, hopefully in the next couple of weeks before Christmas, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos showing you exactly how I've done the track for the terminus station, and I've done some pretty cool stuff with DC that allows you to utilize this the way that I said. So normally on a DC, as soon as I move the other loco into place and pull it away, the other loco that's here will also move. But I've actually done something to the track in the terminus stations to stop that from happening when I want to pull one of these locos out. So I'm going to show you this how to install it and how to use it. So to install it's pretty straightforward. You just slot it in between a set of sleepers, and like I said, what I normally do is here. I'm gonna move down here. What I normally do is install it in the end of a terminus station. This is not actually a terminus station on my layout, but this is kind of where the light's shining. So anyway, so here we have a southern locomotive, and I'm just going to do this by hand so that you can see. And as you can see there, the tension lock coupling rises up as it goes over, runs along the ramp, and then it goes back down again. So you can see here, if you're moving slowly enough, the tension locks will engage, and then this obviously will stop, and you'll have decoupled. Now what you want to make sure is that this is not a slope, because if it's not a slope, what will happen is this will actually just continue enough momentum that it won't actually decouple. You also want to make sure that if you've got no locomotive, the tension lock couplings are not buckled. But you can see there, as it goes up, it rides up over a thing and then drops back down. So I'm going to attempt this with the steam locomotive here at slow pace, but it may not work. The couplings on this particular locomotive aren't exactly straight. If it doesn't work, I'll grab one of the Bachman diesel locomotives just to show you how it works. Okay, so now I have a class 03 Bachman Shunter, so we're going to try this again. And so you basically have it. It's not too complicated. You saw there, basically as the locomotive went over it, if you actually stalled it slightly as it goes over this, you'll basically cause it to decouple. You can also run it at a pretty slow speed, and it should go and decouple it. At a fairly fast speed, the momentum from the loco should, or from the coach, should keep it going, so it should relock. Sometimes it won't. So for these particular tension lock decouplers, like I said, they usually work well in a kind of platform scenario. So for example, if we were to take maybe a buffer stop or so, wouldn't put it here, but you put it maybe 1 or 2 loco lengths back. So if I pan the camera this way slightly. So you take your largest loco, and it may end up being there. And so what you can do is, by having this at the end of the terminus station, when this loco comes in with the inbound, it will click over that. It will leave the coaches there, and you can continue it on over to the buffer stops, and then the other train can come in and connect on the other end and pull it away. If you get DCC, this is very easy to do. You just stick these at the end of the terminus station, you deselect this train, you select the other one, put it into place, and move it out. In DC, it's a lot more difficult, because as soon as you apply power to the track, this locomotive is going to try to go this way as well. So in a later video, I'll show you how I got around that problem in our terminus station, and it's pretty slick. So that'll allow you to basically bring in maybe a class 47 or something like that, bring in on the inbound express or whatever, pull into the bay, pull the train out again with another locomotive, and then you can move the class 47 or whatever is pulling that up train back into a siding or something like that. So there's plenty of opportunity there to do some cool shunting and just operation with the loco. So some pretty small and simple ideas, but you can get a lot more out of your layout. So one other thing I'm going to show you real quick is I'll show you how this is installed into the track. It's just sitting in between the sleepers, and this is actually on a curved piece of track, a slightly curved piece of track. I'd recommend you try to put it in a straight piece of track if you can. They're designed for set track, but they work fine in the flex track as well. What you just have to do is, if you're installing them, you gotta make sure that you don't nail down the flex track completely towards the end of the terminus station, just so that you can wiggle this a little bit to get it to fit. Okay, so that's the SL-29 Pico Decoupling for Hornby and other tension lock couplings. You can see it works pretty well.